engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello, welcome to Faith on Film. I am your host, Isaac Hernandez, and as you can see, I'm once again flying solo. Holly is in Israel, but she will be back on our next show with some great reports from the land of Israel. Now, in keeping with our Christmas shows that we've been doing for the past few weeks, I have a couple of great interviews for you today. First, I will be talking to Brent Dawes, one of the directors of the animated movie David, which is in theaters this December 19th. This is a movie for the entire family, and Brent is here to tell us all about it. Then I am so excited to have on the show once again the producer and star of the movie The Farmer and the Belle, Saving SANTALAND. Jenn Gotzon Chandler is here with us with some exciting news for you. This is going to be a great show today. But first, let's take a look at the trailer to the movie David.
Stronghold of my life, whom shall I fear? Though the arrows may fly by night and by day, I will not be afraid.
Are you ready for a great adventure?
I will not be
Celebrate Christmas at the movies. Buy tickets now at angel.com/David. Exclusively in theaters, December 19th.
Brent, welcome to Faith on Film.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
Where are you at? You're in Africa somewhere, or where is it?
Yep, at the very southern tip of Africa in Cape Town.
Oh, okay. That's quite exciting. Technology is so exciting now that, we can do interviews like this and not have to have satellite dishes and all that.
It's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible. We had actually 26 different countries involved in the making of this movie. So two of us is nothing.
Well, tell me something. Now, I know that you've been basically a creative force out there at Sunrise Animation Studios. Is this the first faith-based or biblical story you guys have animated?
It's the first one of any sort of major significance. We did a small little movie a number of years ago, or a short called Once Upon a Stable. But this is a whole nother level. So this is, I'd say this is our first foray into the big time with a faith-based project. Yeah.
Wow. So how did this project push you and your team into basically new territory artistically or technically?
It's if you talk to any people in animation, one of the hardest things to get right is humans, because we are so familiar with how humans look, how they act. And so there's a very fine line. If you go very stylized and cartoony, you can get away with quite a lot. But we wanted to ground this movie quite a lot in reality. But we didn't want it to be photoreal, but we wanted it to feel believable. So having sort of somewhat realistic, anatomically correct characters makes it incredibly challenging from a design point of view and from an animation point of view. And to this point, our studio really had mostly experience in monkeys and elephants and animals and alien creatures, much more cartoony. So one of the big challenges was making it much more grounded, but the team grabbed that with both hands, and the results speak for itself.
Now, you're the director, right?
Yeah, I'm the director, along with Phil Cunningham, who co-directed with me.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now, as a storyteller, what perspective or emotional truth were you most eager to bring forward in this storytelling of this particular story?
So I'll answer that in a couple of ways. So I have a couple of personal things, but what we really wanted to do was allow the story to tell and be what it wanted to be. We didn't want to come with an agenda or a specific message we were trying to punt. It's a story that's been around 3,000 years. We didn't want to come and say, okay, well, this is what this story means, and try and make sure that people all heard our version of it. We wanted to create a story that was able to speak to a wide audience, whether you are of faith or not. We feel there's something here for you. But importantly for me was Phil. One of the key things that Phil wanted to tell about the story of David was that David was a man after God's own heart. And what does that mean? And what does that look like? And there's a real simplicity and childlike faith that David has, and a really God-dominated way of looking at the world, which is very freeing. So I'm hoping that what David tries to do in the movie is to try and show people that, guys, you don't need to worry. Like, just trust and God will pave the way. And that's kind of the message that we're also wanting to get across. It's like, guys, you've got one life, live it, be brave, be adventurous. God's got you. Listen to what he's saying and just go.
So what was the most difficult scene or character moment that you kind of had to face, and what ultimately unlocked it for you?
As you say that, sort of a weight falls upon me as I think of all the difficult things we faced. There were loads of challenges in telling the story. Not the least of which was just trying to figure out how do we condense, because it's pretty significant what's in the Bible, from David when he is shepherd to king. So many events happen, so much happens. By the time he's king, he's got 3 wives. What do we do with that, And spoiler for the audience is we didn't feel that this was a love story. This was a love story between David and God, not David and a woman. So we sort of didn't go that route. But it was a challenge to try and figure out how do we weave this thread, and also there's multiple enemies. Like Saul is actually an enemy. So are the Philistines. So are the Amalekites. And who are the Amalekites, and where did they come from? And how does this all fit together? And how can we tie it all together? So, it's not a quick, simple answer, just to say there were many challenges we faced. But the goal was when the audience watches it, we kind of want them to feel, well, of course, that's how it should have been. It could be no other way. It should be an effortless watch for them, but it certainly wasn't effortless to get to that point for us.
Well, yeah, David can be a very mature story. I mean, there was a lot of violence during his reign. And of course, I hate to say this, but he had somebody murdered. He took his wife. How did you did you just kind of omit that stuff, or how did you incorporate it on a fortunately a whole family's supposed to watch?
Yeah. So 2 things, I think. One is we went from when David was shepherd to when he became king of Judah. And a lot of the really challenging, tricky stuff, personal stuff that he does comes after that. Prior to that, he had a very simple faith. Obviously there was still a lot of violence within the story, because there's the war with the Philistines and he kills Goliath and what have you. But that was easier to navigate around, because we're doing this as an animation, and it's a musical. The language of that allows us to sort of suggest rather than show directly, So we see armies charging towards each other, but we're not showing the clash, and we're not showing all that. It's off screen and suggested, but fortunately we were able to. A lot of people have asked us, is there going to be a sequel? And I was like, no, because that's when all the tricky stuff happens, and maybe we'll do that as a live action at some point, but not as interesting.
Very interesting. Now, it is an animation intended for kids to be able to watch. But it's not an animation just for kids to watch. I mean, you don't want families to just drop off their kids and watch.
No,
there's something there also that the adults will appreciate.
Absolutely. as we were making the movie, we kept trying to figure out, like, what do we liken this to? What shelf does it fit on? And the truth of the matter is, we had a script consultant early days, and when he wrote our script, he said when he used to be in the studios as a script consultant, his job, his mandate from the studio was, tell us why we shouldn't make this movie, because they wanted to cover themselves. And he said to Phil and I, is like, my reason, if this came to the studio, my reason to them for not making this movie was because it's too brave. It doesn't fit on a traditional shelf. It doesn't sit on a shelf with Tangled or Beauty and the Beast. It creates its own shelf. And we were really excited about that because we didn't want to dumb the story down. And I feel a lot of, and this is not true of all of animation, but for the most part, I'm finding a lot of the animation feels very similar at the moment, and it's really about distracting kids, throwing popcorn and candy at the screen, and look over here, this gag. With this movie, we wanted it to have room to breathe. We wanted the story to tell, the characters to develop, and we ended up actually more talking about movies like Gladiator. And Braveheart. And we're like, what if Gladiator was made as an animation? How would that feel? So even the way we've shot it isn't like a traditional animation movie with cameras doing all sorts of things and fast poppy animation. It has got a live action feel to it. And so we really feel, actually, even if you don't have kids, we feel it's a movie for adults. So, it remains to be seen if that is received by the audience like that, but we feel it's there for them.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, traditionally, this does not feel like a Christmas movie. Okay, usually Christmas movies are, of course, about Jesus being born, the wise men, the shepherds, and all that. Even though David, of course, was a shepherd, but that's about as close as it gets to a Christmas movie. Why do you feel it was important to release this movie at Christmas time?
I'm so excited it's releasing now because distribution is pretty tricky and trying to find the right date and what have you. And the movie sort of landed back with Angel Studios, which we're just so thrilled about. They were so excited to get hold of it that they wanted to get it out soon. They looked at all the available dates. And something that we've done with this movie is try and hold it as lightly as possible and let it be what it wants to be and try and follow where the spirit is leading in terms of when it should be released. And this is when Angel felt it should be released. And what's wonderful about it is, as they were approaching cinemas, the cinema owners were like, "This is fantastic because we've got Avatar, we've got SpongeBob, but neither of those are a family Christmas event." Just with the faith aspect of that David brings, it sort of just makes it a little bit more palatable in that sense. And it is what they are considering the family movie for this Christmas. So we're really trusting that it's right and that it's going to do amazing things then. And I don't have any more intelligent answer than that, but that was the slot that was available, and it feels good to us.
I think so. I think it's going to be perfect timing. Kids are out of school. It's just a great time to go to the theater and watch a movie. Now, when does it release again?
19th of December.
The 19th of December. Well, everybody, you make sure and get out there and watch this movie, David. And no, we're not going to ask you to do a sequel on it, perhaps, but I'm sure you guys have something else in mind, maybe, or are you still just so focused on this you don't even know what you're thinking about in the future?
No, we definitely got other things in mind, and people have so enjoyed this that and they're desperate for more content like this, and we're eager to feed that need.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Brent, for again taking some time to be with us today and sharing all about the movie David. So
absolute pleasure. Thank you.
You bet, folks. We'll be right back after these messages.
What do you have to gain?
Pretty much everything.
I have loved you every day, every hour, every minute, every second ever since.
We don't always get what we want, but we always get what we need. We're connected, all of us.
When the Jesus movement swept across the world 50 years ago, churches were divided against themselves. Based on a true story, Jesus Freaks is both a new book and a motion picture by writer and director Nina May. It's the story of two college kids who discover love, faith, and the power of the Holy Spirit changing lives around them. Follow their lifelong journey through spiritual awareness and supernatural encounters while embracing the power of the Holy Spirit in their lives.
Welcome back. The Farmer and the Belle is a Christmas movie that I had the honor of being one of the executive producers on, so it does have a special place in my heart. This movie has been out for over 5 years now, but it is one of those Christmas movies that should be a part of your yearly Christmas movie watching. Let's take a look at the trailer, and then we will hear from Jenn Gotzon Chandler.
I'm so glad you came back to Santaland this year. Is that the bracelet your grandma gave you? Yep, it's got sayings on it.
True beauty is here.
So, what do you want to be when you grow up? My mother says I could be a fashion model, but maybe I could be a farmer too. You're beautiful, Belle. Bye, Belle. Don't forget to write. Pen pals forever.
Connect with the horse.
Did you find anything else for me?
Nature's beauty. Adult diapers.
I am aging out. I need to find that bracelet. I lost it when I was 10 at SANTALAND. Maybe it really does have the answers.
What answers? Santaland? You're not making sense. Are you okay?
I'm going to Georgia.
Remember, give big.
I'm looking for SANTALAND.
Belle Winters.
I remember this.
25 years is a long time to catch up on. I think I remember somebody telling me a long time ago that they wanted to be a farmer.
There's a spark between y'all. I've seen
We
it.
don't have anything in common.
My favorite booth.
Well, sounds to me like you're just looking for reasons to keep her away.
Poppy says you get to be beautiful on TV and magazines.
Not so much anymore.
People are what's on the inside, not what's on the outside.
What is she doing, Poppy?
She's channeling her inner runway.
I came here looking for something I haven't found yet.
Maybe you found it, you just don't know it.
Miracles do happen.
They sure do. You came back.
You are beautiful. Are you asking me to stay?
Jen, welcome back to Faith on Film.
Oh, it's so good to be back. Oh my goodness. How fun is it to kiss your husband on screen, right? That was amazing. That was kind of neat there, Isaac. I know, no, your wife. You need to kiss your wife on screen.
Is that what we're going to get out of this movie, is how to kiss our wife or our husbands?
Yeah, basically. You know, it's so crazy. When we started to come up with the idea of the farmer and the belle, I was like, Jim, why don't we film our wedding? And so there's a little Easter egg. If you watch the movie at the end of the movie, like, and you might see some wedding vows, and that was our actual wedding. So that was a really special thing.
I wanted to have you on because, well, a couple of reasons. One of them is, of course, I had the privilege of being one of the executive producers of this movie, just a little tiny bit of me there, you know, and so that's, of course,
Tiny bit, a lot of it.
such an honor for me, but also because it's such a wonderful Christmas movie to watch, and there's more to it than just, hey, it's a great movie about Christmas trees and Santa Claus and all that stuff. There's some message there. So we've just seen the trailer, but can you give us a little bit more of a bird's eye view of what the movie's all about?
Absolutely. You know, it reminds me of that Sweet Home Alabama type of feel where you have my character's this like aged out model, and she's now old. She's not in the prime of being attractive, and her grandma gave her this bracelet when she was a little girl and told her beauty is on the inside. And so she lost this bracelet at a pig farm. And so now as an adult and her career's over, she says, I got to find this bracelet. I have to find that ancient legacy that my Grammy passed down from her generation to my generation. And that's what she does. She goes on this adventure, and through it, she learns what true beauty really is. And Isaac, we've seen so many people's lives. I mean, we've gotten countless and countless and countless emails of people asking, where can I wrap my wrist with the scriptures about why I am a magnificent masterpiece, why my body and soul are marvelously made, as it tells us in the Bible. And women everywhere have said, why haven't more people found this movie? This movie is my favorite Christmas movie. I watch it now with my family every year. We've been out for 5 years. And it's so exciting that this message that the Holy Spirit led throughout the story has really deeply created seeds of life that has brought fruit and water into people's souls. And also I wrestle pigs and I put Santa hats on them. And I am dressed up in pink pajamas with a horse in pink pajamas and heels in New York City. And it may or may not be loosely inspired by my husband and my true love story of me coming out of a divorce and learning what real value is.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, you mentioned something very interesting there. It's not only technically your story, but that is actually your husband with you in that movie, right?
It is, Jim. We met on a movie a long time ago after my former relationship didn't want to be in life anymore. And I went through a journey, and Jim courted my heart with pen pal letters. He literally caressed the love of that Raya love, that friendship love, that forever love by writing letters to me. And as he did, each moment our relationship got deeper and deeper and deeper. And so when you watch the movie The Farmer and the Belle, you'll see that through line of these pen pal letters. And it's just one little Easter egg. Let's see, what's another Easter egg? Oh, it was shot on his mommy and daddy's farm. That was mommy, daddy. He doesn't call him mommy and daddy. I call my mommy and daddy. My child, who's in the background jumping right now. If you hear like thuds, and my little 2-year-old's over here, she might coming out. They call me mommy and daddy, but we filmed on Jim's family's farm. And that's what inspired the story, The Farmer and the Belle. Because I was literally, Isaac, you might not know, but I went with his dad to feed the pigs. And I had no idea that you feed them pig slop. And as I was getting coffee at their house, I opened up the coffee container and inside of it was rotting food. And that was my introduction to the farm. And I was modeling in China at the time on billboards. And I was like, so this is where the whole premise came, woven in with a deeper meaning.
Okay, now, the movie's been out, you said, for 5 years, but there's something very exciting. And that's why I said, I got to have Jenn back on because there's something very exciting about the movie right now and how people can watch it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for asking. So we decided to launch it on our own YouTube channel so everyone could get the movie for free. It's been out for so long. I'm going to say, hey, James, come here. It's been out for so long that we're like, Jim and I want people to get the message. We don't want people to have to, get burdened down by getting this subscription or that subscription, even though that's great. We want them to get the message. Mm-hmm. So the only thing we say is, when you go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. And then that helps us be able to share the movie with more people, just because it's all algorithmic and all that stuff. But our movie is there, and you'll see Jim and I say a little hello before and after the movie to you.
Awesome. I've already subscribed, by the way. So how do people do that? They go to YouTube and they look for what?
Yeah, great question. You're going to put the little @ sign and put The Farmer, the Belle, and you'll find us.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it's it's very, very exciting to see that happen, especially in a movie that I had a bit of a part in there, and so that's not acting though. I should have been the actors of some kind of. No, never mind. Now,
do you hear that thudding? Can you hear it?
No.
It sounds like an earthquake. I gotta show you guys. Really? This is my son. He's literally jumping up and down. James, can you turn around and say hi? Hi. Say hi. Say, this is my buddy. Say, James, do you like the movie The Farmer and the Belle? Hey, I've got a joke for you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow. He's there.
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting people.
Well, it's someone. I can't believe time has flown by so much. I remember when you were just telling us that you were pregnant. Well, excellent. We certainly hope that millions and millions. It's important that millions of you get out there and subscribe to the channel and watch the movie. It's a great movie for this Christmas season for the entire family. You don't have to say, well, let's keep the little ones out of there. It's great for the entire family, right?
It's like James couldn't stop watching it. It's just so much fun because you've got all the animals and you've got pigs and goats and chickens and cows. And yeah, it's really neat. And Isaac, this is crazy. But what we learned is like some data is that when somebody watches a movie 1 million times on YouTube, then YouTube creates, I think it's $10,000 is when they give it to the investors, which it's so fascinating how these things are.
That's what's needed. All right, Jen. Well, I look forward to hearing how it's gone over the next few weeks or so, and how it's turned out as far as how many people have been watching. Hopefully, millions. Thank you again for just taking a little time to be with us today, Jen.
Awesome. God bless you. We just want to pour back into the ministry to bless so many people. Yay!
Be right back, folks.
What makes Capernaum Studios different from other movie studios? We believe in empowering filmmakers to make stories that matter, inspire, uplift, and transform lives. From historically authentic sets to state-of-the-art, fully equipped sound stages, we offer immersive LED and green screen stages, ICVFX virtual production, period to modern sets, a first-century village featured in The Chosen, and much more. We provide everything filmmakers need to focus on what matters in making their vision a reality, producing meaningful content affordably without compromising creativity. Discovering what's possible when creativity meets purpose. Capernaum Studios, empowering filmmakers to make dreams a reality.
Well, that does it for today's show. I want to invite you to visit our website, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com. There you will find links to not only this show, but all of our past shows in case you've missed some. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at faithonfilmtv. And finally, we would love to hear from you. Write us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Well, I look forward to having Holly back with us next week and having you join us for another great Faith on Film show. Until next week, take care.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.